South African former President Jacob Zuma explains why it seems like he hates the white people of South Africa. Watch this.
To tell you why I seem to be hating whites, if I remember you well. And I must tell you why today. I must answer the question. You insisted. Now, you are a South African. I warned you some time ago that let us not discuss the subject. It's better, in my view. Because it's a subject that touches serious issues in this country. I'm a child of the ANC. Despite my history, the ANC taught me non-racialism, that I must be never racist, and I will never be racist. But that does not mean I must not correct the wrongs that were done in South Africa. Otherwise, I would not have been a freedom fighter. Otherwise, I would not have been in the ANC with its correct policies to help. ANC says, let us deal with things to help unite the people of this country. Reconcile. Forget about the past. That's what I believe in. But there is a reality in South Africa that between us, there are those who robbed others of their own possessions and made it theirs and left others to be poor. All I'm saying, let us correct that. Not by fighting. We fought many years ago. Not by fighting. By talking, and I've emphasized, even if when I say the land must be corrected, and I've emphasized very deliberately, within the Constitution and the law. I've never said anything that makes people to want to fight. Within the Constitution and the law. Some time ago, I was asked, are you going to do it the Zimbabwean ways? I said, no, this is not Zimbabwe, it's South Africa. We are going to do it within the law, within the Constitution. I've gone further to say, if we think we don't have a solution within that ambit, we will discuss. If we think we need to change the law or amend the law or the Constitution, it will come as a result of the discussion. Where is war there? Why do you think I hate the whites if I say so? You cannot have a situation where there are people who have got land, part of which they don't know what to do with, whilst other people have got absolutely not a single hectare. It must be corrected by the South Africans. What do I want the whites to do? Is to say, let us sit down and solve this problem and find an amicable situation wherein there will be no South African who has nothing when others have everything. That is the issue. And that is my position. That is the position of the African National Congress. It's as simple as that. You must look at the ANC as a very important organization that helped us to avert a calamity in this country by negotiating and saying, let us forget the past. That is absolutely true. If you think we need to discuss these matters, I think we are open to do so, with an aim to find a solution. We did not, for an example, want to stick to those points in the negotiation so that negotiations don't succeed. It was important to solve the political issues, but we have to solve the economic issues. We can't avoid it. Otherwise, I'll be dishonest. I'm not talking about myself, the Zumas, who suffered, who were removed from the great town, rich area across the Tugela River. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what can we do so that people can have, you know, I always say to let us not discuss it, but you love it. You love it to come here to say, Zuma, hates the whites. I don't. I've got whites who are my comrades that I trust. I've worked with them. I've been in the trenches with them. The whites. I've been commanded by the whites in the war for freedom. I can't have that. I'm a Democrat in the true sense of the word. And therefore to have no fear. And if at all there was anyone who says, let us kill the whites, I will be among those who will protect and fight to defend you. That's a reality as a South African. So don't misinterpret my intentions and the intentions of my organization. It's as clear as anything. We want all South Africans to benefit from the wealth of this country. All of them. This was taken when we were celebrating the birthday of the ANC. When the ANC was celebrating 103 years since it was born. I had to give a history of this country, and the history is history. History has chapters, painful chapters, wonderful chapters. But it is history. When I said, when Jan van Riebeeck landed in the Western Cape, our problems began. Is a historic fact. Now, I always avoid giving the details of the history, but it's not necessary. When he landed, there were residents here, in this very city, who were established here. The Cohen son. They were living here, and they welcomed him warmly. And he established himself. They were together. Somewhere, somehow, a tension began. And there were wars that were fought. They were removed here forcefully from their area. Removed. And some of them went deep into the country, north, south, east. And the wars began because after the population arriving in South Africa grew. It is written down, it's not me concocting it. There were 8 major wars that were fought in the Eastern Cape. I didn't write that. We are not counting other small wars. 8 major wars. There was a great trek from here when there was a quarrel between the Afrikaners and the British. As a history of this country, there was an establishment of 4 republics, 2 belonging to the British, 2 belonging to the Afrikaners. When all of this was done, the blacks were not consulted, even the establishment of the republics. The clash between the Afrikaners and the British continued. There is no part of the country that there were no clashes. With the British, with the Afrikaners. Some are big and known, some are not known. The Zulus fought the British, and the major one was at Isandlwana. The Afrikaners fought the Zulus, and Ngombe, what you call the Brald River. And the British, the Afrikaners discovered, as they call it, the discovery, they actually came across mineral resources. And the British heard this, and they vowed to defeat the Afrikaners. And there was an Anglo-Boer war. That's a history of this country. Very bitter war. We all participated on either side. Only now, when we are correcting history, we are calling it a South African war because we all died in that war. At the end of that war, the English-speaking and the Afrikaners met to negotiate and agreed the four republics should be combined and took very important decisions. Where will the parliament be as part of compromises? It will be in Cape Town. Where will the administrative city, Pretoria? Where will be the judiciary? Orange Free State in Bloemfontein. And one of the decisions, when these two met, was that you will have, therefore, a union of South Africa, the government, which will be elected at all times, but the black people would not participate in that process. It was that decision, that made the black people to make a call to meet in Mangaung in Bloemfontein to discuss what we called the national calamity, that the indigenous people are not to be part of governing this country. Very bad decision on an important decision of uniting the four republics. It was that time that we said we are going to fight to liberate ourselves, to be part of government. To participate, you must know, because this country was still under British colonialism fully. There were delegations that went to England to raise the matters. We did not want to fight. We wanted to be part of the process to govern this country. This now are the activities many years after the landing of Jan van Riebeeck, who opened the way for them to be here. They started fighting here, Eastern Cape, Free State, everywhere. There were wars. And again, after many years, we said, but what type of a country do we want? Because we must be clear, if we say we want a non-racial South Africa, what are we talking about? That's why the meeting in 1955, wherein everyone in this South Africa, including government, was invited to say what type of a country do we want. And that's why the Freedom Charter is important, because that's when we molded this country we have today, a democratic, prosperous country. Important in that gathering is a preamble of the Freedom Charter. That is the basic policy of the ruling party, where we said, we the people of South Africa declare for all to know that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white.
Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the stories that shape our world. This is Adaka Africa, bringing you the geopolitics you need to know. See you in the next one.